I used to think rich people were just born lucky, that they had some secret advantage I'd never have. But then I came across The Millionaire Mind by Thomas J. Stanley. And honestly, it flipped everything I believed about money upside down. This book didn't just give me financial tips, it completely changed the way I think. So in this video, I'm breaking down the lessons that help me go from just surviving to actually building wealth. This isn't one of those feel-good motivation books. It's based on real research. Hundreds of actual millionaires, not athletes or celebrities, but regular people who built wealth quietly. Many of them describe themselves like this: we are financially independent, yet we tend to live a comfortable, not extravagant lifestyle. That one line shifted how I saw everything. The first lesson that hit me was this: millionaires don't treat risk the way most people do. A lot of folks think rich people got there by taking wild chances, quitting their job, throwing all their money into one big investment. But that's not what the data showed. They do take risks, but not blindly. One of them said, "We think of success, not of failure. We take risk, but we study the probable outcomes. And we do everything we can to enhance the odds of generating returns." That quote changed the way I move. It taught me never to just bet on hope. Study, prepare, build your parachute before you leap. They aren't reckless, they're calculated. And that's the difference. This one really surprised me. Millionaires on average weren't straight A students. The data showed their average GPA was 2.92. Their average SAT score was 1,190. One of them said, "Most of us have been told by some authority figure or by the results of standardized test scores that we were not intellectually gifted, not smart enough to succeed. And yet, they did. They built real wealth. The reason was simple: emotional intelligence. They had grit. They could bounce back from failure. They didn't spend their lives trying to impress other people. It wasn't about having a high IQ. It was about consistency, focus, self-control." That gave me hope, because it means being perfect isn't a requirement. What matters is staying committed. This one completely shifted how I spend money. Millionaires aren't out here flexing. They're not trying to impress people. They're building. Stanley found that even people who could afford the lifestyle chose not to. One quote that stuck with me was, "We live in fine homes, but we have little or no debt." And when he looked at their spending habits, here's what stood out. The typical member of the group has never spent more than $41,000 for an automobile or $4,500 for an engagement ring. Let that sink in. They have millions, and still choose simplicity. That changed me. I stopped trying to look rich, and I started thinking long-term, because real wealth isn't loud. It's peaceful, quiet, strategic. One of the biggest patterns in the book was this: millionaires don't chase trends. They don't follow hype. They choose careers that match their strengths, and they stick with it. One of them said, "How did we become wealthy in one generation? It has a lot to do with our selection of the right vocation." And get this, many weren't doctors or lawyers. They were self-employed, small business owners, contractors. They found a lane, stayed in it, and mastered it. Another said, "We were wise in selecting the ideal vocation given our abilities, aptitudes, and strong interest in becoming financially independent." That made me pause. It reminded me that chasing money is not the move. What matters more is finding something you can grow into and own, because ownership is where wealth begins. This one's not about dollars, it's about people. Stanley found that most millionaires had strong support systems, especially in their marriages. Check this out. For every 100 millionaires who say that having a supportive spouse was not important in explaining their economic success, there are 1,317 who indicate their spouse was important. That blew my mind. They didn't just win financially. They won together. They had partners who shared the vision, who respected money, who helped build something solid. That made me look at relationships differently, because your peace at home affects everything. Your energy, your clarity, your growth. If you're trying to build wealth, a peaceful home isn't optional. It's an asset. Here's what I've learned. Wealth isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, a strategy. The Millionaire Mind didn't give me hype, it gave me proof. Proof that simple, consistent decisions can lead to real change. One of the most powerful quotes was, "We believe that it is more than just possible to balance one's financial goals with an enjoyable lifestyle." That's the life I'm building. Not just money, but meaning. So I'll end on this. Name one money habit that you know needs to change. Say it out loud or write it down in the comments. And if this video helped you even a little, like it, subscribe, And send it to someone who's ready to start thinking differently. I've got more financial gems coming your way.